Attenzione, attenzione, pickpocket. Just announcing that this is a bonus episode.
¿Qué lo que hay, mi gente?
It's me, Eric, and
Nathalia. First time ever. Let me know if you fucking like it. So, I don't know if you guys remember, but a couple of episodes back, your bitches did an Am I the Asshole about a woman whose husband says that she's been financially, hold on, let me get the exact wording because, bitch, we got an update. And it was all because of Eric.
Yes. I saw the update on Reddit and I was like,
pardon?
And I sent it to Nathalia. I was like, girl, this is what we were just talking about on the podcast. Like, here's an update. We have to talk about this.
The title was, she was accused for financial infidelity only to find out that her husband was actually cheating. So remember that whole entire story of a woman being in the computer science technology development business, and then she had a husband who was in the finance scope who had an issue with her saying, like, I don't think you're as career driven as I am, and that's a problem. Also, you spent $5,000 on a gaming system of her money
that she saved up to that point
on a gaming system before telling me, and I don't think that's right. I think you should have told me that you had $5,000. And I also think we need to cap our shit so anything that goes beyond $2,000 goes into our joint account so we can spend money. AKA he was broke as fuck. And then his other complaints were, oh, also, I kind of don't like the fact that you don't tend to yourself. Like, I want you to wear makeup. I want you to have a nice physique, dress nicely when I'm here. And I also want you to be a Stepford housewife and cook me extravagant meals every single day.
And she did that.
She did that. Effort. Only for him to call her a low value woman because she was not a virgin when they first met and started dating. Mind you, they started dating when she was in her early 20s. And he was in his early 20s. And they were, I think, seniors or some shit like that in college. All this was to say and being done that he was cheating on her with a person that he met in high school. A co-worker who was then pregnant.
Whore. Oh, this update. It's, ooh, I want, if I was, ooh.
So now she comes, the latest update, and then she kind of summarizes what we just summarized. So this is where we're going to get into it. I'm updating again because a lot of kind people have been checking in with well wishes and to see how I'm holding up. Sorry for not updating sooner, but as soon as I got back from the spa week and I intended in my last update, I dove into work with my attorneys on the divorce settlement and didn't think it was wise to put my business on the internet. However, anonymously with the legal issues up in the air. Understandable. The good news is that we were able to come to an agreement pretty quickly and everything is now executed. Quote, just waiting for the court date, which could take another couple of months, but my lawyer says the agreement is airtight, and parentheses, aka in quotes, whatever. I wasn't quite as favorable as most of all you lovely people probably wanted for me, but I was highly motivated to get it done fast. I did get everything that really matters to me, which is the house that she inherited from her grandmothers, all the furnishings that she purchased inside the house, and her own retirement account, and her quote fun money was all to her. Otherwise, she did have to split 74% of her cash assets. Although he wasn't on the title for the house, he did contribute substantially to the large renovation we did, as well as upkeep since then, and house appreciation very substantially in the years since we moved in. It's fine as I have plenty of money. Bitch got monies. Essentially, as I'm quite frugal most of the time and can rebuild the cash savings quickly. Our agreement also states that neither of us has a claim on each other's past, present, or future earnings. In case something happens, like he loses his job before the court date, I won't be liable for any alimony. This is actually the overall good deal for her, and it gives her a lot of more security. She says, in case anyone is wondering how we got this done so quickly, our state allows divorce of mutual consent grounds, which basically allows a quick divorce without legal separation period if the parties come to an agreement about all financial assets. And given that Amy is pregnant, the girl that he cheated with, my soon-to-be ex-husband, she's gonna call him Joe, like the psychopath from You. They were all very motivated to just cut the divorce. Now we get into it. This is the real dirt. Last weekend, shortly after our papers were signed, Amy reached out to me, asked if we could meet up and talk. Perhaps I should have declined, but I will admit I was curious about the quote 24-year-old prodigy and until recently virgin, quote unquote, person who was Joe's affair partner. So I agreed to meet her for lunch. So the first thing is Amy is very pregnant, like third trimester pregnant. She confirmed her due date is mid-October, which means that the affair had been going on a lot longer than Joe let on. Whatever, it's water under the bridge as the divorce is almost final. However, after some polite, chill pleasantries, she asked me, when am I going to move out of the house?
Ha!
Because surely Joe has been patient enough with giving me time to get my life together, and her apartment is small and they needed space for the baby. What?
Wait. The fucking audacity
of
on
this
that
man.
woman.
This man, and well, first it's the man, because she's only going based off what the man's saying.
Yes, but also like, don't assume that like he owns the house. They're married, so at the very least, you should assume that they own the house together.
Girl, just the audacity in general to reach out to a person that you cheated, like you helped break
You're
up.
the other woman, and then to be like, oh, so when are you moving out of the house so I can move in? The audacity.
Girl, I'm gonna continue on because there's more shit. I told her she must be mistaken as the house is mine, inherited by my grandmother, but I asked her, what else has Joe told her about me and our marriage? And lie after lie, Joe's lies, that is, tumbled out of her mouth along with crumbs of the real story. These gems include, and we got bullet points, bitch. First one. Well, it was true that she and Joe met at work, but it was a year ago when they both interviewed for the executive training program they were both in. Amy said, though, that they first became friends before getting romantically intimate. Apparently, Joe told her he was legally married, but we had been, quote, separated in spirit and living separate lives, end quote, since 2020. But he did not want to kick me out and make me homeless during the pandemic because I didn't have much money. Second bullet point. Joe told Amy that we met in our early 20s when he mentored me in a GED prep program, that I was a high school dropout who was struggling with addiction, and essentially that he, quote, rescued me, helped me get clean, tutored me for my GED, and have been supporting me since through graduating, working on a college classes. He told Amy I was working on preparing for an IT career and was currently making $45K as a help desk technician, and that he wanted to make sure I could at least afford a studio apartment.
Girl, at that point, I would cut that conversation right there, head over to him and fuck his ass up. She like lied that I got a fucking addiction.
A GED, and you were my GED mentor?
GED mentor, and that I'm struggling with a fucking addiction, when that's all three of those are fucking lies.
Blatant lies.
And again, on top of that I got a fucking addiction. Girl, I'm fucking you up. I'm fucking you up. I am fighting you. I'm punching your throat. I'm slashing your fucking tires. Ooh,
it gets worse, y'all.
I'm getting heated.
It gets worse, y'all. He also told Amy that we had, quote, separated because I had relapsed and he couldn't have a meaningful relationship with a drug addict. All lie.
Girl, like,
She says my entire history of drug use is occasionally sharing a joint in college, maybe 4 to 5 times total, nothing harder. So he's just pulling shit from his ass at this point.
Just trying to make her look bad.
Exactly. Make him look like the white savior he wants to be.
Right.
Delusional. So third bullet point. It is true that Amy was a 24-year-old virgin protege. She seemingly dismayed that Joe had told me that, though at least the virgin part. Said it wasn't a moral issue. She really was just focused on school and work and didn't make time to date. And that generally guys her age seemed mostly interested in casual hookups, essentially the younger science bro types, and she wasn't interested in that. But that Joe took time to get to know her and was actually interested in a meaningful relationship. Final bullet point. I asked her if the pregnancy was planned. She said no, of course not, but it was a miracle because Joe had a vasectomy, so they took this as a sign that they should keep the baby. Quote, the Joe did not have a vasectomy as they were planning to be child free. I suggested a couple of times over the years. He firmly stated he didn't want to alter his body like that, and he left birth control to her responsibility.
He's a liar. He's a manipulator. Like, a part of me wants to, like, take the story, like, with a grain of salt. Like, there's two sides of the story, but it's, like, lying about a vasectomy. And
bro, you're fucking delusional. You're delulu, as everyone wants to say it.
Like, I want to be, like, you know, the devil's advocate and be like, okay, I'll take some parts of each side, but it's, like, men tend to be shitty, so I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to, like... agree with majority of what she's saying.
We're going to go to the long haul because that's it with the bullet points. But so it doesn't really seem that Amy is pretty blameless here. I mean, those of us who have been around the block would likely know not to believe a guy who claimed to be, quote, separated, but is still legally married and living with his wife without having any dating/relationship experience. I can see where she would have taken him at his word about everything. After all, I didn't know anything was amiss with Joe until a couple of months ago, and I was married to him. Of course, Amy didn't want to believe me. I don't blame her for that either. After all, she's been in a relationship with Joe for close to a year and is 7+ months pregnant with his baby, who is coming soon, ready or not. I couldn't immediately refute everything she said, but showed her a couple of things. First, a picture of me in my late teens with my grandmother in front of my house, and also my LinkedIn profile, which showed my current job and education. Told her to do what she wanted with that info and to stay safe and take care of herself. And then she said my goodbyes. Yes, it is very odd and unpleasant and surreal. So she basically goes on to say that she's sorry for the long post, and she hopes that Amy wises up. This is my initial thought process. Based off of his original posts or her original post, talking about him, of how dedicated he was to the executive program, how he saw himself being an executor, and how he met her in that same executive program, and that she was the youngest person in that executive program. I think he trapped her purposely.
Yeah.
Listen, yes, I don't even think he was unhappy in his relationship, because based off of what we can get from the original post that I said a couple of videos ago, he didn't show any issues with his current wife.
That we know of.
But fortunately, we know many men tend to like to have a midlife crisis and go for the younger thing. I think he figured, I need to be an executive and I'm going to take anybody who is the same level as me, right. AKA this 24-year-old in an executive, and he was in his 30s.
A part of me feels like maybe he saw like her because she's working hard to like go up the ranks and be at that age, at that rank already. He's like, oh, that's hot. But it doesn't excuse the fact that you're still cheating on your partner. are committed to, allegedly.
So
because clearly he was not committed.
So that was that. Whatever, you know? But my thing, I think he purposely got into a relationship with this girl to not in essence get her knocked up or whatever, but to take her mind off ball of being an executive, because that was his goal. And he seems like the type of person that he will do anything to live his dream, no matter what the fucking cost is or who he has to step on to do it.
Selfish.
Exactly. So I think based off what she's saying, how she didn't give other men within the same company or within the same career goals, the finance bros, a chance to sweet talk her. This guy was playing the long game, because that's exactly what he seemed to be doing with his first wife. He played the long game with her, gaslit her to the fucking max, made her think it's literally your fucking fault.
First of all, gaslight her into thinking like everything's okay. And then the issue of like the gaming system. Oh, that's the reason that well, I like how you don't keep yourself up, and you should talk to me about like X, Y, and Z. And it's like,
so I think
you're just a controlling freak.
Just by the chance, because she said, because he goes into effort to say that he lied about a vasectomy and this is a miracle baby, quote unquote. He trapped her for facts.
He lied to her
because I think he knew what type of person she was, in terms of maybe she's the type of person who's, okay, I have a baby now, I need to give my focus to my husband and to my baby if they do end up getting married, which I'm assuming that's the case since he was so quick to get a divorce with this chick. So that's my first initial, my thought. And then my second thought, you can come in afterwards. My second thought is, once she gets settled in being the 50 step for housewives, you remember that was his biggest issue in his relationship with this girl. He's the type of person like, okay, this is your role. You're the mother. You need to tend to your kid. She's knocked out of the executive position. So now he might be the only chance in running.
He wants to be the breadwinner.
This is what I'm saying. I'm saying he played the long game. He targeted this girl because she was a quote unquote prodigy, not just because she's a virgin or whatever, but because she's smarter than him. She's 24 years old and she was in the same executive program as this 30-year-old man making fucking moves. I think he targeted her and was like, you know what? She looks naive. I can play games with her. I'm going to fuck her, get her pregnant. I think he's a narcissist enough to think that far. That's it.
At the end of the day, he wants to be in control. He tried to do that with his, ex-wife, and it didn't work. So he got this new lady, from our perspective, fed her lies.
Based off the thing.
Right. Fed her lies. And then got her knocked up and told lies about his ex-wife. Make him look better. Because again, at the end of the day, he wants to be in control of the narrative. I'm sorry, but if I was the one that just was the other woman and then just got knocked up, to then have a sit down with the ex-wife and then to hear, oh no, this is actually my grandmother's house. I can quickly show you the evidence. And we don't know if she showed her the evidence, but
she said it. Sure. She said she literally, the first thing she did was she showed her her as a teenager in that same house and showed her LinkedIn page of her education. She basically was trying to refute the lies that the husband said to her.
So if I feel if I was the other woman and I'm seeing all of these
receipts,
all these receipts, then think about he said he got a vasectomy and now I'm pregnant. Girl, I'm going to put 2 and 2 together real quick because 1 + 1 = 2.
Mm-hmm. But also, we've been around the block. Us today, sitting here, we know or we've experienced manipulative men.
But even at that age, I don't care. If I'm here as the other woman meeting up with the original wife and you're showing me receipts that this is your house as the wife, this is your grandmother's house that you grew up in and you lived in and she gave it to you, and here's all the receipts, and here's the man I was the other woman with, and you have all I have is your word, and she's giving me receipts and you have showed me nothing. I'm not gonna sit there and be like,
well, he says this.
Well, shit.
Yeah, but a lot of women take what their men
They're
say
gonna stick-
at face value in order to live in the illusion that was created for them or the fantasy that they've dreamt up.
And you know what? It's women like that that's like, you're not a girl's girl.
They make me want to punch them in the face.
You're not a girl's girl. You're
But
not. You're gonna take this dude that's lying to you about having a fucking vasectomy. I'm sorry, girl, but like vasectomies are like what? 98.99% effective.
Mm-hmm.
Girl, you're not fucking what's her name?
Teresa, Mother Teresa.
No.
Who?
The one with Jesus.
Mother Teresa.
No. Not Mother Teresa.
Who with Jesus?
The one that got pregnant with
Oh,
Jesus.
Mary.
There we go.
My bad.
I'm sorry.
Bitch.
You're not Mary.
You're not the Virgin Mary.
You're not the Virgin Mary.
This
and
ain't the
he
next.
Is not Jesus. Best believe he's not Jesus.
God, that's God, because God implanted Jesus in Mary.
Well, he's not God either.
Even though he has a God complex, it ain't the fucking same, bitch. Either way, I think he planned on getting this bitch out in order to win the game within the executive partnership. That's what I fucking say. He manipulated the fuck out of her.
It's narcissistic behavior. He wants to be in control. He wants to get out of that relationship with her without having to like sit down and conversation of like, I think we should break up and end things. But he decided to go the nasty route.
What gets me though is how would you have lived that lie? Clearly you're not getting the fucking house because that's hers. You have no right to it. Right. What lie would you have told the girlfriend to be like, oh, we're not moving into this house even though I own it. I gave it to her. Like, how does that play out in your favor?
Because, like, at the end of the day, he's going to try to make himself look good. He's going to say, oh, that was my house. But I decided to be a good person and let her have it. How's that going to make him look? If the new wife or his new
had no contact with the girl,
how is that going to look? It's going to make everything look for him look good. That's like, oh, he's a good man. He's letting her keep the house. Mm-hmm. Even though technically it's not his house. But again, a narcissist is going to do what's going to make them look good.
Mm-hmm. But that was your update, bitch. We just had to come in if I can tell you that. But let us know in the comments what you think. I know we gave a lot of commentary, but people have different POVs of everything, which is shocking. Yeah. So if you guys think otherwise.
Yeah, if you guys think like, oh,
we're completely fucking bullshit and it's understandable why the 24-year-old understood and believed what the person said, go ahead, tell us.
And right.
The girl literally had to be so naive to think that you're not going to look the bitch up. If I was the other woman,
LinkedIn.
Curiosity would kill me. I would look this bitch up on Facebook, Instagram. I wouldn't think of LinkedIn, but I would look at the hoe on LinkedIn.
LinkedIn, but anonymous.
I would look the bitch up anywhere I can find her and see how much info I can get. And no offense, if you're in an executive position for finances, I'm assuming you got a couple of marbles in your fucking brain. You can put two to two together to be like, let me do some extra research. Especially if you're the fucking mistress. I'm sorry, but I feel like any mistress is in competition with the original. That's just it. Because you're the other woman. So you literally, the fact that you didn't do your own due diligence, shocking. Because I don't give a fuck what any bitch out here saying. Like, you're not better because you quote unquote won the game and he chose you. No, you're stupid. Because how you get them is how they leave you.
Yep.
Karma's a bitch.
Yep. Well,
that was your daily dose. Let us know how you guys feel in the comments. Also, I might have to put this into it. Listen, make sure you like, subscribe for the visual viewers on YouTube. And then for the audio listeners, make sure you follow, subscribe anywhere you get your podcasts. Thank you. That was your daily dose. Have a good day. Bye.